Okay, wait, say it again.
QCP had a problem with Freeze because when we got into it at Whiskey Mistress,
him and Freeze had words.
Me and P had words at Whiskey Mistress earlier this year, at the beginning of this year. So when the QCP tried to confront me, you know what I'm saying? When he confronted me, Freeze spun around and like, what's up? And motherfuckers viewed Freeze as a threat. You know what I'm saying? Because he had just did 21 years and because of the affiliations that he had that had nothing to do with what he locked up for, but they just looked at him as a threat. And the way he was moving, they couldn't believe that he had all that motion. So, you know, motherfuckers knew he had just came home. They knew he was BG cellmate. They knew he had just came home. So motherfuckers figured that they tallied it up just like that, you hear me? Took my family and took my address from my kids lady here at Wayne and put my address online. So QCP and all the in Atlanta who don't like me could see my address, where my kids lay my head at. Right? So listen, if I get an address, like I got his address, when I got his address, it ain't hard to get on the address, bro. I get that address, you know what I did? I pulled up to his house.
When I got started, I was stating that I know you're real tight with Freeze, man, and I didn't have no plug on him, so I wanted to know, and the world wanted to know what's going on with OG Freeze.
Yeah, my man, he's sitting down right now. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like walk right into the middle of a situation. He go to court next week, and it's looking good. I talked to him 3-4 times a week. They got him out in California in a federal holding facility right now. You hear me? But he walked into a situation when he got released, something that was already brewing. Walk smack dab into it. Since you asked me whether you want to ask me about him, so you know he walked
So whatever happened? Can you walk us through it and what happened with him?
Oh shit, it was a Rico, man. Multiple count Rico indictment. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? Basically, he walked right into it. You know what I'm saying? So it just was what it was. You know, he walked right into something that was already an ongoing investigation. You feel what I'm saying?
Hey, to be clear, and for motherfuckers who don't understand, what is a Rico?
Oh, Rico is a Racketeering and Corrupt Organization Act. The Rico Act was instituted in, I think, 1967 in order to combat the mafia. You know what I'm saying? Because Rico is really about, they didn't have hard evidence, and they couldn't get hard evidence because of fear of motherfuckers getting killed, or fear of motherfuckers retaliation. So they created Rico Act because a lot of times they didn't have real tangible evidence. So what they did was, a Rico Act is just a large conspiracy of people, even if you don't have direct evidence to time into it. You know what I'm saying?
What is that term? It's a federal term.
Yeah, it's Racketeering and Corrupt Organization Act.
And so Freeze wasn't even home a year, right?
No, he wasn't even home. He walked right into it.
So when you say walked into it, what do you mean?
Walked into it is that the people he was fucking with was already under investigation. He didn't know it. Unbeknownst to him, they was already under investigation. He walked into it, because how could you know? You don't know. You know what I'm saying? You know, but they don't got him charged with none of the top counts of indictment because he didn't have nothing to do with it. You hear me? It was just like a guilty by association type shit. You know what I'm saying? He ain't guilty of none of this shit, but he just walked into it. Because sometimes with a Rico, man, sometimes you don't have to do anything. Sometimes just being associated with, like me, if I'm hot, you being associated with me, right? They don't have to have any real tangible evidence to pull you in. I'm already hot. They see you with me. They see you parlaying with me. They see you traveling with me. They automatically thinking that you got something to do with whatever I got going on. And that's the same thing that happened with Freeze.
That's what creates the conspiracy part of it. You talk to him?
Yeah, I talk to him 3-4 times a week, every week.
Yeah, how you doing?
Yeah, he's getting good spirits, man. He got action coming. He got a court date next week on the bond tip, trying to get him a positive. You hear me? Because he ain't charged none of the principal charges on the indictment. You hear me? He just kind of like walked into the middle of something, right? So they know that he wasn't around or he didn't participate in the heavier end of the shit, but because they believe that he was associated based on the rat. It was a rat. He was having so much motion moving around. They just assumed that the motion he was having was all due to being in an association, but they didn't know that he was having motion on his own. He's a businessman. He had started multiple businesses. Family, me and him got the business together. Was doing our thing when it comes to his business. So, but you know, when a white man get on you, they believe what they believe. It don't make no difference what you think. They believe what they believe. He was having too much motion for him off rip.
Hey, I hear through the grapevine, and, you know, and under the black market or whatever, that It was due to Freeze like going too ham online with certain stories and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
You think that has something to do?
Yeah, absolutely. See, listen, because one thing we know about people who are in power and people who are in position in the world of entertainment and sport and play, motherfuckers don't like to be talked about, bro. And motherfuckers viewed Freeze as a threat. You know what I'm saying? Because he had just did 21 years and because of the affiliations that he had that had nothing to do with what he locked up for, but they just looked at him as a threat. And the way he was moving, they couldn't believe that he had all that motion and wasn't involved with something nefarious, if you get where I'm coming from. You feel what I'm saying?
No doubt.
So yeah, motherfuckers, listen, motherfuckers play, like he said, it's a long tail rat, it's a short tail rat. Nowadays, a motherfucker have a problem with you, they don't even tell you. But they start to move against you in ways that you have no clue about. So it's a bunch of that shit going on right now, bro. Motherfuckers are ratting in non-traditional ways. You feel what I'm saying? And then motherfuckers offering up information on motherfuckers in non-traditional ways for reasons that you wouldn't even believe is possible now. You hear me?
Damn, bro. I didn't want to believe that shit, bro.
It's true. You can believe it. You know what I'm saying? Because we just crossing a lot of motherfuckers. And that truth, listen, the last thing a motherfucker who got something to had want to hear is you telling the truth about them. I'm gonna cut you off. Is there a specific person? Is there a specific name? Or yeah, QCP for one. You hear me? QCP for one. Oh, Whack 100 for two. Everybody know Whack a federal agent. You know what I'm saying? So that's just that on that. You hear me? So motherfuckers knew he just came home. They knew he was BG cellmate. They knew he just came home. So motherfuckers figured that they tallied it up just like that. You hear me? Them boys ain't right. Them boys ain't for the right thing. Them boys use any means at their disposal. They use the art of war. Yeah, they call it the triangle offense. Triangle offense is, I know I can't beat you on the gorilla tip, so I'm gonna use every other avenue at my disposal to try to get you. Whether it's tell on you, try to set you up in some way to try to get you locked up, call the police on you. You know what I'm saying? Call police and lie on you. They call that's the new thing, and that started in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? They call it a triangle offense. Kind of like with the coach of Chicago did with Phil Jackson. They call it the triangle offense. Means I'm going to tell on you, right? I'm going to get your YouTube channels and your Instagram took down so you won't have no way to be able to communicate what you're saying about me. I'm going to call the police on you and sick the police on you. They call it the triangle offense. That's the whole country. And that shit was born out of Atlanta. Atlanta motherfuckers real sensitive about what you say about them. Like, motherfuckers don't feel no kind of way about the truth. I mean, about the lie. You know what I'm saying? Because they brush the lie off. You know what I'm saying? They feel some type of way about the truth. They want to hide. They want to be undercover with it. They want to keep quiet. Shh. Don't tell nobody. So they not upset with themselves for doing the flaw shit. Fucking with the police, ratting, cooperating, pussy shit, reporting pages, filing civil litigation, putting a name in the court. That's what just happened to me in Detroit. Listen, whenever you go to the courts and you put a name in the courts saying that the motherfucker is threatening, harassing, intimidating, and bullying you, you talking to the courts. What's that? What's the difference between that is you going to the court of law and going to the lawman trying to get the lawman to deal with what you perceive as a problem? It's worse than that. So that's what just happened to me in Detroit. One of the most historic figures in the hip hop game in the city of Detroit, cat by the name of Street Lord Wine, he filed a cease and desist on me based on what I was saying about him on YouTube and on Instagram. I sent it to you. You got copies of it. You can post them, and you got my lawyer's response to what he did too. I got a lawyer on retainer for all this YouTube social media shit. That's why when you see my Miss DawgFace TV podcast LLC. It's DawgFace TV on YouTube, and all under my LLC. Because I know guys gonna try to come with the suit. I know guys gonna try to come with the slick 50 triangle offense. Police use any means necessary to get a motherfucker out there. I've been catching hell, Wayne. I've been catching hell. But to answer your question, no, I'm not fearful of it, bro. Because a coward dies 1,000 deaths. A soldier dies but once. So it is what it is. I ain't lying on none of these niggas. One thing motherfuckers ain't saying is I'm lying. They might not like my delivery. They might not even like the subject matter, but they ain't saying I'm lying. I have not been proven to be a liar about none of these punks, pickle pig feet, hog maw, chitlin eating ass yet. Ain't nobody say I'm lying. Ain't nobody proved I'm lying because I ain't told no motherfucker lie about these pussies.
See, bro, what do they fear that's gonna happen if you keep talking like
Man, these motherfuckers done built images. They have built images that they have projected to the world and to their communities about who they are. They have lied and fabricated, just like a studio gangster. A lot of these then went to studios and then fabricated fanciful tales and stories about their gangster. That's what happened. That's what the problem is. And so when it gets challenged, when you challenge them in any way, when you start to offer up facts and evidence to the contrary of who they say they are, they got a problem. They want to hush you up.
Who in Atlanta you have a problem with? Has a problem with you?
In Atlanta?
Yes.
Al Nuke, Zaytoven manager for one. He was the one who launched and initiated all the telling on me. You know what I'm saying? He was the one who got my YouTube channel took. You know what I'm saying? That he bragged about it on social media. He the one who got my Instagram page took.
But you know, when you mention the name what's his name?
QCP.
QCP, right?
Yeah.
I think of a mini Birdman, and it's on his way on some, you know.
That's what he.
So you must.
He is to Atlanta with
Bird,
bro. I'm telling you, he a rat. He told on the motherfucker. Yeah. Motherfucker parked his homeboy with all due respect, and QCP was there, seen it around it, and he told the police that my man parked his homeboy. Know what I'm saying? Then he was following up with the police, trying to get the police to take the motherfucker off the street, who he said laid his homeboy down, killed his homeboy. Right? That's what he did. It's you know, 1090 Jake got the story. It's all you can Google it. QCP had a problem with Freeze because when we got into it at Whiskey Mistress, when QCP and Chris Brown manager, Ant the Ladies Man, tried to confront me at...
Him and Freeze had words?
Me and P had words at Whiskey Mistress earlier this year, at the beginning of this year. So when the QCP tried to confront me, you know what I'm saying, when he confronted me, Freeze spun around, I'm like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? And so he's like, well, who is you? And Freeze was like, nigga, don't worry about who the fuck I am, nigga. What's happening with you? What you trying to stop my man for? What's happening with you? What's the problem? Is it the issue? And he's like, I'm just trying to figure out why nigga always talking about me. P telling Freeze, I'm just trying to figure out why DawgFace is always talking about me on YouTube. He said, for the same shit you doing right now, the police right here. And you stop and try to confront a motherfucker right in front of the police. The police is literally 5 feet from us, and you stopping the motherfucker asking the motherfucker a question. If you had an issue, or if you had some pressure with it, you could have stopped the nigga 100 yards back that way inside the club. Why you wait till we get ready to leave and come out and the police right here? You know what I'm saying? So P had a problem with it. He had a problem with me. So one thing you gotta understand is that motherfuckers who y'all think, or who people think that power and influence, especially in the world of entertainment, they don't like to be talked about. They don't like the truth about what they did to be exposed. So therefore, a motherfuckers will take measures to try to prevent that. They don't like it. You know, they ain't got no problem with the weak hoe ass shit they did. They have a problem with you talking about the weak hoe ass shit they did. That's what the problem is.
Is BG still talking to Freeze right now?
Yeah, absolutely. That's family. Absolutely. Yeah, he's still making sure he's straight, chopping up with it. Absolutely. That's a forever relationship. That's a forever friendship. It's a brotherhood. No doubt.
What happens when Freeze come home?
We back to the business. We back on these niggas' ass. You know what it is? We back on the ass. Fear the Black Planet, part 2. You hear me? You know what it is. We back on the ass.
So you mentioned earlier, you say he's short. You know, not yeah. You know, because he ain't get no time. But
No. He come from about that motherfucker. The case is an ongoing case, but Freeze is not a principal figure in the whole indictment situation. You hear me? And you know what I'm saying? It's just some he say, she say shit. You got motherfuckers who was telling, put him in it because how he was moving. You know what I'm saying? The shit they said about him wasn't true, and the lawyers can prove that it's not true. But when you get caught up in a Rico, an indictment like that, you got to prove your innocence. You got to prove that you ain't nothing about none of that shit. You ain't got nothing to do with none of that shit. It's simple as that. You hear me? And even sometimes you can prove that ain't your get out, they still trying to lump you into it because of how much pressure he was having out here in the street when he came out here. They couldn't believe that he was able to make leaps and bounds that fast and that large and wasn't involved with nothing, but he wasn't involved with none of that shit. Bro, we on some business shit, you hear me? Why the fuck we jeopardize ourselves, putting ourselves back in that when we got motion on 5 different other legit situations, you hear me?
Say, bro, I understand the caliber of yourself, the caliber of Freeze and the caliber of Freeze and but what's the conclusion to this shit, bro? Like you guys gonna have to, I ain't gonna say have to, I mean, you know, it's this or that, right?
We ain't making no adjustments, bro. We charge it hard. Like, I'm not gonna never curtail what I got to say about a motherfucker. See, the whole thing is,
I mean, but at some point it's gonna have to come to a point where You guys gonna have to figure something out. Unless it's just gonna fade out. You know, you guys just agree to disagree with QPC.
Well, I don't gotta agree to give you that rat bastard. He a rat, and that's why quality control as a label that shit through. And that's the problem that I have with Whack 100. Whack 100, he buddy with QCP, but he always talking about a nigga that ran it. Like he said BG. He said BG snitched on something, right? He called Whack 100, called everybody a rat. These motherfuckers only want to call rats motherfuckers who they don't like. But then they parlaying with they know for a fact is rats. These niggas don't have no problem with ratting on nothing for real, bro. They only say they do because they know that's what they expected to say if they claim to be a G. Listen, bro, I challenged the nigga to a boxing match. The first thing I said to the nigga when I catch you, I'm spanking you. But the nigga said, I'm calling the police on you, I'm putting you back in jail. I'm gonna send you back to prison. That's what he said to me. I'm putting you on the phone, but I got 3 phones. I got 3 of them. He called me on this phone right here and said, I'm putting you in jail. I'm sending you back in jail, and I'm sending you back in jail. So he don't know. I'm on this phone right here. I'm on this phone right here with 3 other motherfuckers on FaceTime call. While he telling me I'm gonna send you back in jail. I'm on this phone right here, and they can hear. They're like, did they just say that? Yeah, he just said it. So when you a coward in your heart, I don't give a fuck what image you try to project to the general public, but when you really a coward motherfucker in your heart, all you can do is coward, weak, hoe ass shit. Put the lawman on the nigga.
It's a lot of shit.
Listen. I want to make sure we get this shit point. Because motherfuckers said, well, dog, you propagating, you promoting violence. No. Nigga took my family. The nigga took my address from my kids lady here that Wayne and put my address online. So QCP and all the niggas in Atlanta who don't like me can see my address. My kids lay my head at. Right? So listen, if I get an address, like I got his address, when I got his address, it ain't hard to get no address, bro. I got that address. You know what I did? I pulled up to his house. I didn't send his address to nobody. See, the whole thing is, I'm operating on principle and morals. And just because niggas do some whole shit to me, that don't mean I return the whole shit in kind, right? When I see you, I don't give a fuck I don't give a fuck about no police, none of that. When I see you, I'm going in your shit for the violation. Period. Simple as that.
You pull up to his house, what happened?
I'm gonna call the police on you. I'm gonna send you back to prison.
And that's what damn, okay. Oh, shit.
That's what happened. These niggas don't really want no funk. These want to use law enforcement, bro. And every other meeting.
DawgFace, listen, you know I'm a journalist, right?
Yeah.
And I can't take sides, bro.
You ain't supposed to.
And I have to ask you.
But see, as a journalist, I'm presenting you with facts, right? I sent you all this shit from YouTube. I sent you all this shit from social media where he's saying if something happens to me, DawgFace did it. I sent you proof in his own words when he said, y'all report his YouTube channel. Y'all report his Instagram. I sent you proof. So as a journalist, you go by the facts, right? I sent you the proof.
But at any point did you feel responsibility that okay, maybe I went too far?
With what? Listen, I ain't never gonna tell on you. You sock me right now, I ain't telling on you. If you say something about me I don't like, I'm not finna report. Listen, it's all kind of niggas to say negative shit about me. I have never went to no Instagram page and reported it, bro. I'll block you because I don't want to hear that weak shit, right? I know you a hoe and I'll beat your ass. But I have never, ever in my life pushed the report button on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. Never. What am I do that shit for?
I hate that shit, bro. Like,
what am I do that for? See, these niggas try to use these rap tactics. You try to scare journalists like yourself with platforms like you have. You try to scare you away.
I told you initially I didn't want to do it because, you know.
So now, how you gonna be an effective journalist though? Think about it, bro. You from the NO. You've already put yourself in harm's way 15, 20 years ago. As a journalist, as a photographer. Just imagine if you would have never took those pictures of them goddamn levees. The world would still be believing that Katrina broke those levees, the wind and water. They would never know that there's signs of explosive material on those levees that blew them motherfuckers, bro. You put your life in line. But the reason why I tapped in with you, because I know that you're a man of principle, you operate with courage. And I know that you know how to protect yourself from motherfuckers who would seek to try to have a negative impact on your brand. Like the blogs, for example. The blogs report anything. The blogs talk about Jay-Z and Puffy. But this shit in their own backyard they don't want to report on. You know why? Out of fear, and being intimidated. If you fearful of something, you can't be an effective blogger. If you fearful of retaliation, and if you scared of a motherfucker, how are you gonna be an effective YouTuber? You can't tell the truth because you're afraid of the consequence. So that's why I stand out amongst Detroit podcasters, because I'm not afraid to tell the truth. That's why public figure Boogie stands out. That's why with up for debate with man O stand out. Cause we ain't afraid to tell the motherfucking truth. What you wanna do? We ain't no DJ academics. The Detroit, we call it the YouTube streets. The Detroit YouTube streets is not ran by no big homie.
You see the academics. I thought this nigga go ham. I thought he put his life on the line.
He had. Exactly what he did for Chicago. Academics became famous to the world because he was reporting on all the drilling and killing that was happening in Chicago before Chief Keef left, just 10, 15 years ago. That's how academics claimed the fame was, reporting on all the shit that was happening in Chicago amongst the GDs and the BDs. Okay. That's how he became famous, reporting on all things Chicago.
Which was hot as a motherfucker at the time.
Yes, it was hot as a motherfucker at the time. It was number one. It was even before the whole Chicago scene blew up. He was reporting about it because of how ridiculous and how dangerous and how violent and how idiotic the shit was. That's how he became famous. Report on as other things, but Act was heavy on what was going on in Chicago streets, and that's what his perspective on what was going on there is what blew him up and put him on the world stage. You hear me? But see, the whole thing is, Video Wayne, this YouTube shit, motherfuckers get mixed up YouTube and social media. They think social media and YouTube is the same thing. No. Listen, bro, let me give you an example. When you go to social media, we go to Instagram, right? Can you type in how to build a house in the search engine? Nope. No, you ain't gonna get nothing. You know what I'm saying? Can you type in how to build a car, how to change a transmission, how to paint a house? They have those type of things, but you can't type it into search engines and find it. When you go to YouTube, YouTube is really a place of information. You have to make a determination of the kind of information you want to put on YouTube and the kind of information you want to digest when you search for it, right? Right. So that's what it is, right? Motherfuckers getting social media mixed up with YouTube. On social media, all they really want to do is see you crash out on social media. On Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, all they really want to see is you crash out, you crash and burn. On YouTube, it's a difference because you do have crash and burning on there as well, but you have YouTube is a genuine source of information. If you want news, you can get news, right? If you want to get do it yourself education, it's all on there, right? So YouTube is a whole different world. So when the whole ass ratted me out my YouTube page, they thought they were gonna stop me. They can't stop me because I went to Patreon. You hear me?
And on that too, before we get off that too, like what happens with that when Freeze come home as far as his online presence? Is he able to get back online and talk some shit up?
Oh yeah.
It's best he stay away from you.
No, man, we up on these hoes. I'm up on these hoes while he gone. I'm up. He watching. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He paying attention. He hearing about it. You hear me? He hearing about it. You know what I'm saying? My name buzzing. My name buzzing inside the penitentiary and outside the penitentiary. My name buzzing in China. They know what it is. Any place that you got YouTube, any place that got Patreon, my name, I can't be stopped. So for the next store they're gonna be able to stop me by ratting me out the game, you can't stop me doing motherfucking thing.
I gotta ask you, bro. What does it come from? The passion to get at these niggas, bro? Like what? Cause did whack the QP? Did anybody say something to you or say something?
Yeah, they responded. Absolutely, they responded. Yeah.
No. I mean, initially, did it make you go after them?
No. See what happened?
But just your passion, period, that makes you. Makes you say I'm coming after you.
I don't like whole shit. I don't like whole shit. I don't like motherfuckers faking, putting on the show. I don't like none of that kind of shit. And I think to answer your question, the passion to really kind of like give motherfuckers a different or alternative view on this shit is that I know these niggas who are in the limelight, these niggas not real, bro. Just because a nigga is a rapper and successful don't make him real. Just because a nigga is an athlete and he a star athlete don't make him real, right? But see, white America has propped these athletes and entertainers up and present them to the whole world as if these motherfuckers really speak for us as a whole. Them motherfucking rappers dumb as a box of goddamn rocks. Why do you think there's a downward curve on YouTube when it comes to interviewing rappers, singers, and athletes? You know why? Because motherfuckers know that the average rapper and singer, they've never been do no A&R program. They really have no press training. They've never been through no kind of real cultivating or a period to kind of like teach them how to handle themselves and teach them really how to have conversations. The average rapper, listen, a nigga would rather watch Charleston White on YouTube than to watch a rapper be interviewed because motherfuckers know the average rapper, not all, but the average 95% of the rappers is dumb as a box of rocks. When these rappers, just go look at all the interviews, man. Charleston White is, why you think Charleston White is such a household name? Why you think they keep on interviewing him time and time and time again? Charleston White in front of a camera more than rappers who are multi-millionaires, because they know you take the police shit away. You take that police rat ass shit that he be doing away, right? You ain't got no problem, no issue with nothing Charleston White ever said, because he's telling the truth about this shit. You minus the rat shit, he's telling the honest God truth about these.
Everybody
and they mad about it.
Everybody side with him in secrecy too.
In secrecy,
say what he's saying
because it's not popular. Nobody sat with him in secrecy. They sat with him in secrecy because the rat shit.
Yeah.
Because all the I call the police on you, I get you locked up ass shit, right? But motherfuckers do not disagree with it. Listen, I agree with 90% of the shit that he said when it comes to him talking about how we treat ourselves as a people, how our culture handles how black men handle black men, how black women handle black women, how black women handle black men, how black men handle black women, and how negative and destructive we are towards each other, right? You can take every white person off the face of this earth. They always talk about Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Bro, listen. Long before Donald Trump ever became president, had decided it was cool to dog each other, disrespect each other, kill each other, beat each other, rob each other. Long before Donald Trump became president, it already became cool with that shit for the most part, right? That's why our music is a direct reflection of how we think, bro.
Any word to Freeze? When you see you watching,
Freeze, you my motherfucker, you my brother. You hear me? You know what it is, man. I'm gonna hold you down so you can hold yourself down. That's what it is, man.